prostituting myself. I always got to give the description, the disclaimer. When you say, worry about what she was out there. I wasn't doing none of that, but drinking, that's why everybody think I'm from Philadelphia. Because when I used to come out here, I used to be with Versatile and I had a crazy ex. I won't give him any type of recognition. Because I worked hard for my platform.
For the cameras.
Even then, I built this platform brick by brick.
I know that.
You understand? Yes. So we're not giving no shout outs
brick by
to
brick.
Anybody that didn't contribute to it.
I love
but
it.
But because of him, I used to be in the Philly spaces a lot. And when I used to come out there, young, no child, like carefree, just drinking Hennessy like water.
On the head.
I did all of that.
But it's a good thing you turn it around quick.
Jesus came and grabbed me by my neck, and it was just like, since then I just been more chill. He didn't even give me no choice when
he dragged you.
Yeah, so now I can't even do wine. My eyes start turning.
That's me.
And then I work out a lot too. So that's one of the things I hate. I'm like, alcohol, like liquor as a whole. I just love.
All right, let's get into it. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to a special series of In the Fries. This one is in honor of Women's History Month, and the girls are taking over. Me and my girl Smitty, we taking over In the Fries podcast.
No boys
with
allowed.
The ladies, no boys allowed. We're bringing the ladies to celebrate, and we're actually shooting this episode on International Women's Day, so it was only right that we bring this very special guest, Mary Love. She's a comedian.
Yes,
she's an entrepreneur. She's a mom. She's a Liberian woman killing it. Yeah. We're so happy to have you here, Mary.
Thank you, ladies. Woo! I am so ecstatic to be here.
Oh, thank you for coming.
One of my favorite comedians, by the way. I'm going to give you all the flowers. I laugh at all your videos all the time. I was so excited that you agreed to come. Yeah. I was fangirling. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to get to meet her today. I can't wait.
Oh, listen, the pleasure is all mine. When you reach out to me and Emma reach out to me as well, I catch a little snippets of the show. But when you ladies reach out to me, I was like, I gotta go represent for the women.
Thank you, please.
Come. Watch Women's History Month.
I was like, we gotta get into some things. We gotta really talk about some stuff.
We really need to.
So I hope you're ready for us to really jump in the fries.
We're ready to jump in the fries.
To call it out.
And we're ready to fry the potatoes. But before we get in, we want to do a little fun fact. Did you guys know that Mary was supposed to be one of the cast members of In the Fries? She's supposed to be one of the hosts.
Yeah, I was supposed to.
Girl, give us the tea.
What happened? Okay, so all right. So
give us the tea.
So Doug reached out to me, I believe, summer of 2024.
Okay.
He was pitching an idea to me. But this is the thing about me. A lot of people, I would say they know, but mainly my inner circle, I'm very passionate about everything that I do. It don't matter how small it is. I'm very passionate. And if I don't feel like I can show up to anything with my full self, I don't want to do it. Because I don't believe in giving a half work.
Right. I love that.
That's my name.
That's how I am
So,
too.
yeah, when he reached out to me, the space that I was in at the time, it just didn't resonate with a person who would have to be intentional, show up every day and give her all. So I was like, no, I'll think about it. But again, watching a bit of the show, catching snippet of it, and then being a whole different headspace now, I'm like, I think that could work. Even if I'm not on there as a member. But my own little show, with my own little mic in front of me, like a Liberian Oprah, getting into some things.
The LIB Oprah, you heard it here.
But not too messy though, but yeah.
A little positivity, just a little sprinkle of negativity.
A little balance.
I feel like you, with your message, even with what I see on the internet, you're very good at conveying negativity within our community.
With love.
With comedy. Like, I'll see things, I'll be like, oh my God, I thought I was the only one. And
right.
Like, you're so relatable. So I'm sure,
thank you.
Yes, please come back.
Yes.
I'll think about it.
Think about it.
We need you. I'll think about it. But
we'll keep her on retainer when we need a guest.
Yeah. Now, let's get into the episode, right? We want you to tell the people a little bit about you. Not the people that know you from Instagram and watch your little skits and laugh. Tell all about Mary, like who Mary is. Because I just found out you had kids. I didn't even know that.
Wow. Mary is a lot of things. I always say this. I said, I am everything that I need to be at the time that God needs me to be there. So I'm a vessel.
I love that.
I'll just break it down like that. I'm a vessel. When I need to be an entertainer, I'm an entertainer. When I need to be a comforter or a counselor, I am that. When I need to be just a listening, I wear so many titles people don't understand. Baby Love is an entertainer. She's an entrepreneur. She's a mother. She's a woman in Christ.
Yeah.
She's part of a ministry. She's humanitarian within her communities, privately doing things like anything that just allows me to exude all of what God has placed inside of me. I'm doing it. So Mary Love is a multifaceted woman.
I love that. And you're like the perfect opening to this Women History Month segment, because I just love how you embody all of that. Because if someone just watches your skits and laugh, they'll just think you're just a funny person.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have all these layers to you. I saw you with your boys and I was like, I didn't know you had 2 boys.
Yes.
Twin boys, killing it at mom life. Liberian women, I feel like we do it all, right? And we do it with so much grace.
Yes.
And we don't get enough recognition for that because there's so much negativity on the internet about Liberian women.
Right.
And it never highlights the good, the positive, the ones that are doing well. So this is what this is all about.
Yeah, she want to give you a thought. And I love a multifaceted woman. I like that you're like, I can't wear one hat. It's impossible to wear.
It's so many things to do out here. Yeah. It's so much to achieve. It's so much to figure out about ourselves. So it's like, why limit yourself? Why put yourself in a box?
And I hear your passion when you speak. We were talking earlier. You said you're a Leo, and like, them fire signs. It gotta be hot. Like, I'm not doing it. Like, and I understand that completely. I got a friend just like that. Like, if it doesn't call her, she's not going. She's not leaving.
Yeah.
You'll think she's a homebody because of it. But when it really calls her, she's like at 100%, just ready to go. So I think that's so beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
I think that comes with a lot of respect, right? Because when you say yes, your yes is respected.
Yes.
And is valued. Because you don't just say yes to everything. You say yes. And I'm the same way too. But sometimes people think you're mean or you're selfish or you're this. But I can't be saying yes to everything and not showing up my full self. Then it just make you an unreliable individual and you don't want to put that energy out into the world.
It's true. Like you said, you can't say yes. The more yes you say, it kind of takes away from the value of when you do say yes to the people that you say it to. A great philanthropist, he's not a philanthropist, but a great philanthropist once said, my presence is a present.
Girl, yeah.
I won't finish the lyrics, but when you do say yes, people who you say it to have to know, like, there's value in that.
Yeah.
Because they have to be able to, how did you get her to say yes? She don't usually show. You understand what I'm saying? You have to be just a remarkable person enough that when you do show up in spaces, people are able to capitalize off of it and take advantage of it because they know the chances of seeing you in these spaces, it may not happen again. So I love that.
I have a thing where I say I don't like to be too accessible to the world.
Yeah.
I don't like going in a space and you see me too much. Like, you should not walk into a space and expect that I'm going to be there.
Exactly.
You should be excited. You should be surprised. It should be like you said, a present.
Yes. Yeah. I love that. All right. Now that we touch on that, tell us a little bit about comedy, how you got into it, how it all started.
Yeah. So my comedy story is always funny because, again, people see me. And for those who have been following me for so many years, they just think like this is a woman who have had passion for this stuff. I've never wanted to be a comedian.
Really?
Again, understanding where I'm coming from. I'm a Liberian young woman. We don't grow up like, when I grow up, I want to be a comedian or I want to be it was never ever part of the cards that I wanted to go through with life. I actually more so, I wanted to be a lawyer.
Really?
Believe it or not, just my upbringing coming to America and just all of the things that we experience as refugees coming to a new country, trying to adapt. We already know the bullying, the name picking. I've witnessed so many things in middle school, like just people being treated unfairly.
Yeah.
People being bullied. And yes. And I felt like, I don't know why I always call myself baby Jesus. I always felt like it was up to me to be that voice of reasoning. So from that, even though I've always been very shy and been very to myself, but I feel like I want to be a lawyer. I want to be an attorney. I want to speak for those who can speak for themselves. So comedy was never something that I actually wanted to do. But then growing up, I believe probably like 2011, 12, I came across this one Liberian video. I don't know how I came across it. And I watched it and I was like, oh my God. And I just started laughing. And I remember just going and remaking a video like similar to that for a couple of people in our space at the time. And they watched it. And when I tell you, we laughed, even myself, we laughed until tears came from our eyes.
That's how I am with all your videos, girl.
You understand? We laughed. But the funny thing is, I made that video and I was in a studio helping a artist at the time writing his songs. There's so many lyrics to Mary. So at the time, I was helping this artist writing songs and we were working on his album. And I made a video. I never really thought much of it. Probably 2-3 years later, I went to the beach with my cousin at the time. She came over for my birthday and we was on the beach. This is where my first video came from. we were hanging out with these East African young men, and they were so polite. I was like, are you guys okay? Do you need to drink water? Do you need anything? I'm like, they want to be Liberian man. They want to Liberian man. I don't even know what's going on with you, your wig cap on your head. Because, we at the beach, it's the sand hurting your feet. They don't even care. So, just going back and forth with that conversation with my cousin, and we came back to my sister's house at the time, and I was like, maybe we need to tell them. We need to tell them that we miss them. Why they don't show us the love they used to show us? What our country love.
What our country love.
And I just made that one video titled Message to my LIB brothers, my LIB boys, and it just went viral. And since then,
that's how it started.
Became an entertainer. Cause
I don't think there's ever been a time I've been on social media and not see your videos. Like, really? I don't remember when I started watching it. But 2012, I was so old. I was about 15. So that makes a lot of sense. And I feel like ever since that, I've always seen you on the internet.
Wow. See, I'm glad that you said that.
I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan.
I need a break. When I tell these people I'm tired, they be like, come on.
You put your years in. I would definitely say you put your time in, you put in your work. But as well, you are respected in this community. It just brings me so much joy when I see, like, you just have recently, you hosted a gala. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh my goodness, look at her. Like,
yeah, that. How I discover you is my best friend. We talk about a lot of serious things, and we're always very serious. And then she'll send me one of your videos. She's just started sending. She knew I was going through something and I was stressed, and she sent me one of your videos in my DM. And I watched that video, and I forgot my whole life problem. I was on the floor. I was cracking up. So it became our weekly thing. So every week she would send me a video.
Oh, wow. I love to.
And we would just be laughing and just carrying on. And I just loved it. I was like, wow, I love this. Because your skits is just like, not only do it make us laugh, but it's so relatable. It's things that we go through in our our everyday.
Yeah.
If you grow up as a Liberian or maybe even African.
Yeah.
You went through those things. So I love it. I love it so much.
I love that. And I love always when I'm talking to people, I love when I hear that feedback of your skit. It's very relatable.
It's very
because
relatable.
Again, this is life that I'm conveying.
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing as a creative, we know how to be able to write stories, whether it be fictional or non-fictional.
Yeah.
But when it comes to comedy, I always want people to be able to see a bit of themselves in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because my ultimate goal is to bring some level of recognition, accountability, but then in the end, I want it to also be healing. Like you said, you going through stuff, you watched it. I want you to be able to say, oh, but this is what I'm going through. Laugh about the situation, but still be able to find a space of healing in that as well. So I always love to hear those feedbacks.
Yeah. And I think the ones you do with the mom, I love it because
I love showing my mom. This is like, oh, wow. We weren't the only people who went through that. No. Like every single Liberian mother acted like this, and her mother probably acted like this. Yes. This is why everyone is like this. And not to bring this to war or trauma, but our parents are traumatized. They are experience a lot. So the way you show trauma in a funny way is just very heartwarming, because it's like, they don't know no better.
They don't. They really don't. They really don't.
And then speaking on that, like, so let's go deeper into that. Mm-hmm. With you showing your Liberian heritage and culture in your videos, like, let's just talk about, I guess, some videos, for example. What were your first ones that were like, because that takes a lot of strength to do that. Sometimes when I post, I don't like to overly expose myself. I get very uncomfortable when too much information has been shared.
Yeah.
But you're sharing a lot without saying particularly it's you.
Right.
So how did you get into that space to be able to share the trauma and all of that without feeling like, oh my God, my mom's gonna
your mom was
right.
My mom would feel me.
I think it was a choice that I had to make, right? Again, if you're coming into this space and you want to bring something that many people haven't really experienced before, then you have to be transparent. You have to let it be raw. It have to be uncut. Because it's one thing I can come and share my story. I'm sure I'm going to find my community be one or two people. But it's another thing when you're putting yourself on a public platform, you want to be able to draw enough people as possible to say, hey, I went through that as well. So that's always been, like the headspace that I come from when it comes to creating. And again, because I come from an African home, I see a lot of things that we go through. And I'm always like, I don't think I'm the only one who's going through it. I think somebody else too can also relate to it. So I'm always like, okay, if it's your story, 9 out of 10 is somebody else's story. Even if it's not me again, I go out, I socialize a lot. Let me not lie to myself. I'm a homebody. I'm like, wait, don't say that. Cause they're start calling you like, come over here, come, but I mean more so like I connect with people when I'm in the spaces too. And then being able to hear different stories and different upbringings. Again, I'm reminded like, wow, a lot of us went through similar things. So put the story out there. And I always tell my mom, I'm not talking about you.
Okay.
But if you feel like you, then you, but I'm not talking about you, So yeah, that's where it just comes from, again, meeting so many people who relate to just similar stories that I've related to.
Have your mom have any issue with any of your skits that you put out?
Not that I remember, but I know she has one particular video that she loves.
Oh, which one?
It was, it was a video I think I did in like 2018, 2019, where it's how you may call it, it's how it is going to counseling with a Liberian man versus American man, or when you're trying to work on your relationship. I don't know if you remember that you have the dialogue with the white couple. Yeah. She's blaming herself for the misfortune of the marriage. And she's saying, I'm wanting to make it work, compared to the Liberian woman, where she's there like, you, Johnny, you did I take it out her wrist, I pull you together like you could, I don't know why. I don't know if it's not her whole story too, but she loves that video.
It resonated with her.
Video, yeah.
And I love that she really is so supporting in that way. And she's not like, oh, I can't believe you're talking about me or you're making me look bad.
Yeah.
And one thing that your videos have really done for me is I'm someone who had like a really rocky relationship with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, a lot of the things you share, it made me realize like, okay, it's not like my mom, they dislike me. It's not like my mom don't like me or she don't love me.
Yeah.
And all the African moms be behaving like this. This is just this is just how they are. They don't know any better. And I think just from learning that made me realize that she was just a woman coming up. She was just a girl, and she was navigating life the best way that she knew how.
Yes.
And she did the best that she could. So it's not like she didn't love me, because if she didn't love me, that means your mom didn't love you, or your mom didn't love you, and all the other girls in the comment, their parents didn't love them.
Yeah.
So it really helped.
Yeah, I'm happy that you even touched base on that topic, because again, outsiders who watch my videos and they're like, oh my God, like this is not, like, I'm sure you'll see those comments. Oh my God, get help. This is not funny. How is this funny? This is abuse. Try that, America, too soft. Anyways, they don't understand it. And myself, for a long time, I did not understand it until something traumatic happened to me as a young girl in my teenage years. And I remember just walking around for so many years being so resentful towards my mother and carrying so much burden, just pain, right? And one day she approached me. She was like, yo, why do you hate me? I've never in my life, nobody ever said that to me. She's like, why do you hate me so much? And I'm like, what do you mean? Even it's not
you got to look at her like a person at that moment.
And we were able to get into this conversation, and I expressed myself to her and she expressed herself to me. But what I learned from that conversation is she was doing what she was taught.
Best, yeah.
You understand? Like, you can expect somebody to know better, and there's not no disrespect to my mother or anybody, but just generally speaking, you can expect anybody to know better who haven't been exposed to better. So you see the upbringings of American children, I'll use as an example. Maybe that's what their parents have been exposed to. Again, we're coming from generations where our parents experienced the Civil War. They experienced so many traumatic things. A lot of them, if you even talk to them, they didn't even grow up with their own biological parents. They were raised by aunties and uncles who didn't have no regards for them. So they were conditioned to be that way. They feel like the only way to show love is to do this, is to do that. And when I finally had that conversation with her, and I understood, like, wow, all this time, even though it may not have been my way of showing love, but this is what she has known, and this is what she has been doing. So
she's just a girl.
She's just a girl.
I'm so glad that you said that, because I feel like there's so many Liberian women, right? And it made me so emotional, because I have so many kitchen table conversation that I will have with my girlfriends about their mothers.
Yeah.
And that's the conversation that we always have, because one of my other girlfriends, we was talking the other day, and she broke down crying because she felt like, oh, my mom don't care about me. My mom don't love me. She felt like her mother-in-law was more understanding, more there for her. And I hear this a lot, but it's because our moms, some of them don't even know how to show love, because they were never raised in a way where it's like, oh, I love you, this and that. You're going through this. Let me help you. They was always taught to be strong, to get up, to do what they need to do, so they don't know. So I'm so glad that you said that. I wish us women now, as we're getting older and understanding, that we will have more conversation with our mothers and look at them as, just girls that didn't really know anything. And they didn't even have people to love them, to teach them this is the way you're supposed to be loved. I didn't hear anybody say I love you till probably I was like 30 years old.
Wow.
I always say now I'm raising my mother because I felt like she had to raise me to get to a certain point of maturity.
Yes.
And then once she got me done, like across the threshold, she had other kids she has to worry about.
Yes.
Now those children are older and she's still pretty young. She's only like 50. And it's like she's coming into the understanding of what the world really is and like how things are changing and technology. And this lady calls my phone 2-3 times out the week for advice, and I'm her child.
Yeah.
And I'll just be like, how you don't
you know me, you know my story.
Said that we're raising our mothers.
Raising them literally. And my parents, you know, I love them to death. And, you know, like, again, like where we come from, not everybody, parents are fortunate enough to have had the educational backgrounds to be doctors and lawyers and this and that. My parents did what they could do when it comes to the educational aspect. Yeah. So they're very, very leaning towards me. You understand? Like, I get a phone call, like, how do you turn, it's not my parents. It's okay. How do you turn the TV on? How do you do this? How do you do that? But, you know, going back to what you're saying now, where some of us were in a position where we're raising our parents again. Literally. And the more you actually have an open mind and you're able to talk to them, you realize like, these people went through a lot. Again, I always say it's not an excuse for the things they may have done to us or how they raised us, but when you understand,
it's reason, and all you need is
reason. So much. It's deep when that trauma is generational of trauma and brokenness into that.
So broken.
They've been raising us in survival mode.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? They did what they could do.
And when you operate out of survival, you're not really operating out of love, almost in the same sense. And it's not that they did not love us, but it's literally they just did not know what else they can do. So I try to forgive her. I don't look at my dad like he's my father. Like, I'm a daddy's girl. I don't look at my dad like, oh my God, he's my father. He needs to do. That's a man who went through what he went through.
Yeah,
I understand. I meet him where he is. I meet my mother where she is. And I give them the grace to meet me wherever I am too.
Yeah, I love that. I love
And another thing a friend of mine said to me the other day, and I was like, you know what, you're so right. She said, do you know, I think our mothers are jealous of us.
Oh,
and I was like,
that we're getting without
that's what I'm saying. I was like,
they wish they could have had been free.
She said she was in the home with her husband. You know, the traditional way our parents used to do things, to cook for the man to do this. Her husband actually came from work and he made her something to eat because she just had a new baby, and he was helping her with the baby and this and that. And then the mom was like, what you just doing sitting here, and the man doing all that. And then later on they had a conversation. She said, you know, your father, I had 9 children for him. He never helped me do anything. Yeah. And I see your husband here helping you do this, helping you do that. So sometimes when I say it, it's not because I'm mad or I'm trying to be mean, but you know, there's a little bit of, wow, I never experienced that. So there's a lot of experiences that we have.
It's true.
That our parents never get to have. So there's a little bit of jealousy.
For all the years I've known my dad, just definitely bought my mom flowers this past Valentine's Day. You understand what I'm saying?
How old are you?
Child, how old is he? That's a girl,
man. That's a real question.
You understand? Yeah. And then here we are today, girls. Y'all know we don't play. We want to be courted. We want to be treated like princesses. And me, the people know what this is. I'm brutal when it comes to dates. I'm very straight, you know? But then again, like you said, looking at it from our mother's perspective, it's like, this is my young daughter. Yeah. Look at men sending her flowers. Yeah. And they're doing it. These are men, we're not even dating. We're just trying to get to know them. And they, you know, they're going out of their way to just try to win our attention over. Again, for me, I may not use the word jealous, but I could tell it is a bit of resentment there. And it's like, wow, because again, they didn't have a choice.
They didn't have a choice.
We have choices where we're able to choose, like, hey, I don't want to, like me, I'm a mother. Back then, it would be like, you have a child with this man, you're going to be with this man. Mm-hmm. But now, thank God, we're in a space now we can say, you know what? I tried with this person, it didn't work out. And I'm not going to force myself in brokenness. Other than they didn't have choice. So now they're married to people who, they don't share nothing in common with. There's no emotional or physical connection. There's no chemistry. And they're just there to just be there.
I was in a dead relationship for like a couple years, and my mother, I didn't want my mom to ever meet him because I knew the Liberian mentality is as soon as you meet the man, and your husband. And I didn't want that because I just started dating him. I just moved into my condo. I was like 22, fresh, hot, beautiful. And my mother wanted to drop food off so bad. She just wanted to drop food off so bad.
She was ready to marry you off.
Yeah, she met him and just took one look and was like, he's the one. And years
into the relationship,
I kept telling her, like, this man is lazy. This man don't got no ambition. And I'm somebody who literally pulls it out my behind. Like, I can literally make magic out of nothing. Yeah. So to be with someone who's unambitious, it really stops my career and stops what I'm doing because I have random ideas at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning that seem impossible.
Right.
I can't be next to someone who says that's impossible.
Right.
So eventually I left the relationship and she saw my health change. She saw that I was cleaner. She saw that I was actually getting dressed and doing my makeup and becoming more a part of society. And I was like, because I was in a dead relationship and I wasn't choosing myself. But the Liberian mentality behind her was like, oh, stay with that man.
Right.
He's a good man. He cooks. He does this. That is as good as it's going to get for you. And I'm like, no, mommy, it gets better. It always gets better.
I love that. It do get better.
It's better.
It do get better. And I'm a pro advocate of that. Let me tell you something. Like now, I know in case you even get there, I'm a single woman, single by choice.
Yes.
I love it.
Single by choice.
Single by choice. Cause the men they plenty. Single by choice, but going back to what you said, it do get better. Again, I always say you will not find a perfect person, but compromising just because you feel like that could be the only thing no.
And I really want us to, I was going to save this for our round table because I really want us to preach that to young girls coming up,
And we will.
I see a lot of our aunties, a lot of the older people I talk to, if I count 10 on my finger that's married, right? There's probably only one that was actually happy in that marriage.
Oh. I'm going to choose my peace of mind over anybody.
Yes. But we'll come back to that on our roundtable talk. Let's get back to your career. Let's get back to comedy.
Yes.
So what was your first big show when you was like, oh my God, I can make money from this. I can do this. This could be a career.
Believe it or not, the first big show, the lady she's here.
She is?
She's here.
Liberian girls doing it?
My very first, and when I said big show, I mean like actually now moving from the screen and being exposed to the people. One of my very first big show that I can actually recount was with Small Ma, when she used to do her annual fashion show. At the time, coming up on social media, especially Facebook, I was big, I was hot. And she reached out to me. It's like, I want you to host my show.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know nothing.
Isn't that crazy? You both are here.
Yeah, I didn't know nothing about this. I was like, oh my God. Again, you have to know me personally. I'm very, very shy. I'm very, very soft-spoken. I'm very, very to myself. So I was like, wow, this is real now. And that show that year, that particular show, it was so big.
Really?
Like everybody was there. The who's. Well, I always say the movers, the shakers.
The movers. And
the go-getters to the town. We were outside because everybody like, we want to see this girl now on social media. We want to see her in person. So that was one of my big shows.
How did you prepare for that? How did you get through the nervousness? Because I know grabbing that mic is something different live crowd.
Yeah. I think at the time I had good supportive friends. Like my clique that I was working with, they were very, very supportive. Like, it don't matter who you are. Like, go be yourself, maybe, because this is who you are. This is not an act. A lot of times these people do these things, they're acting or they're playing a part, but like, you're naturally funny, you're naturally caring, you're very charismatic, you know how to charm people. Just go and be yourself. And just the words was able to be encouraging. And again, I'm very big on, I want to be mindful of what I say because there's so many different things people say. And I'm very big, my relationship with Christ. I always use that as my source of strength. So that I had to go, I'm like, God, I was sitting out minding my business, so I didn't ask to be no funny girl, and now you got me in this space, so you got to be with me because I can't, if I embarrass myself, I embarrass you.
Yeah.
I always said, if I embarrass myself, I embarrass you.
That's funny. I always say, if God give you a gift and you don't use it, you're disrespecting him.
Ooh.
Yeah. So y'all we're gonna be those girls like,
that's true. If you a gift and you choose not to use it, that is so disrespectful.
I tell him like, you don't know what you're talking about. Like,
Michael Jackson used to say, if he got an idea, like for a song, he would get up and go make it immediately because he thought God was going to give it a print.
Ooh, I like that.
So I just always say, like, if you got it's in your head, you got to run with it, even if it's a hymn, whether it's a little word, whether if it's a sentence, a mathematician little problem.
You just got to go. He gave it to you for a reason.
I like it. That's true. Because he going to give it to somebody else.
He going to give it to somebody else.
Wow.
Okay. So what would you say it's like being a comedian woman in the Liberian community? Do you find it hard? Do you think it's easier? Do you think we're supportive?
Like everything,
you know, Liberian people.
Yeah.
Like
everything, it has its up and down. It has its good and bad. For me now, speaking from my space, it's been good now. The space that I'm in now. Over 10 years of work now.
Really?
I can enjoy the respect.
Okay.
I can enjoy the recognition. I can enjoy just everything that comes along with it. But from the very beginning, it was not easy. Of course, you can already imagine I was disrespected.
Yeah, I'm sure the men played with you.
Oh, my dear.
Yeah.
Don't be
woman. When you have shine, when you have a light like that, where especially you're showing up very genuine. Like we have people who come, but you're very, very genuine. Yeah. And some men don't know how to receive genuine women.
They don't know how. Some
Liberian men.
We want anything to push him, but I gave God a glory. Why I passed through it, but no, it's like, in this space, honestly, my sister, I would say people as a whole, because there are people who, when they don't understand things, they want to question it.
Yeah.
Like you said, even me, when I show up, I don't know what it is that people can't believe that a person can just be how I am. Oh, there's no way she's nice like that. There's no way she's sweet. There's no way she's intelligent. Something, they want to find the flaw.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And it's like, what's wrong with somebody waking up every day and choosing to be intentional about how they show up?
Exactly.
Because you have to choose to be nice. It's not an easy task.
It's not.
Where I come from, it's easy to do the opposite. You understand? So I've always had that struggle where it's like, oh, show your true self, and who are you really? You understand? I'm like, this is how I am. This is who I am. I've dealt with it again, and then being a woman in this space, you can already imagine being a beautiful woman. If I do say so myself,
very gorgeous.
We're going to do it again.
Girl.
If I do say so myself, you can only imagine. You got the people like, what's up? What you willing to do for this opportunity? I ain't wanting to do anything. I ain't wanting to do nothing.
I think that's what my mom can say. When men and women come together, it could be problem. That's how they like to act.
I ain't willing to do. Let me tell you what Jocelyn Hernandez said. I'm stingy with myself. You know what I'm saying?
Another one.
I'm stingy with myself, and it's funny because I'm like, I'll give my time, I'll give my services, I'll take off the clothes off my back and give it to somebody.
Yeah, but my body.
But when it comes to me, when it comes to my love, when it comes to just the things that I have, I'm very, very, very picky with it. You understand what I'm saying? So then dealing with the people who feel like, oh, what are you willing to do for this opportunity? How do you want to be? Or even people who don't even understand boundaries. You understand, right? Because we show up to certain work and there are people, oh, what do you mean you can't stay here till 10 p.m.? What do you mean we have to?
You think that's an issue within the African community? We just don't know boundaries?
Entitlement.
It's all of the layers
we
of
don't know
it.
Boundaries. And that's something that I struggle with, right? Because I come from a very professional setting.
Yeah.
I think that's because I haven't dealt with a lot of African people in my line of business.
Yeah.
So sometimes people see me to be very difficult. But it's not like I'm not trying to be difficult. I just want us to
I'd rather be difficult than easy, though.
You rather do what you need to. What Nicki Minaj said, has she accepted the pickle juice? She'll still be drinking pickle juice to this day.
I was going to hold you. I was going to come up.
A lot of times, Liberian people find us to be difficult when we ask questions and we expect things to be done a certain way. So Liberians, we really have to change that mindset. We got to expect excellence from each other, right? So when they say there's a Liberian person doing this, you be like, oh, that my Liberian person, they're going to do a good job. I need to show up. But we have that mentality that when there's a Liberian person doing something, you expect nothing but like crumbs.
Yeah. And
because we're showing up and giving crumbs. Yeah. And then when somebody else show up and require a lot more, then we push back.
We don't know what to do with it.
We don't know what to do. So we got to do better.
We have to. Even the answer to the question you asked me, I love my people, right? And I always say, like, sometimes the support only go as far as it can. Social media, oh, you're funny, you're this again. But then when it's time now to actually engage and actually recognizing this talent for all that it is, our people always like to, and not all of us, of course, always want to keep you in this place where you just don't grow, right? We showing up. If you're like, hey, come to my show, and you're like, okay, these are my requirements.
Girl, they
always got respect for you until,
until you have requirements.
Then it's like, what you want to do, all this, but I've learned now in this business, when you're firm and you hold your ground, the people who respect it and understand it are going to understand, and the people who don't they're not going to, and it's fine.
And I'm so glad that you said that, because over my how many plus years as a creator, I've never really worked with Liberians because of that.
Yeah.
Right. And a lot of the time when I work with them, I do it for free. Just because I know if I said this is my rate, they won't pay. Right. But then when you come free, they still don't give you that respect. It's just like, okay, well, you're here, so whatever.
Yeah.
And we really have to change that mindset, because we have to take care of our people, right?
Yeah.
In order for other people to take care of them. When you come here, you saw me bringing up your bag. I could have been like, who am I? I don't need to carry Mary bag. Yeah. But I want to show you that love and respect and that support. So when other people see me doing it, that's how the Liberian people treat her in that Liberian community. So when you go outside, they should double that.
Exactly.
They should double that. So we really got to work on that.
It's unfortunate. And like I said, it's not all of us, because even the booking that I had recently out here in Delaware as well, the gentlemen that booked me, they were very, very engaging. They were very respectful. They went above and beyond to making sure that I was taken care of. Of course, every now and then it's getting, because these are like grown men. I'm always dealing with grown men. They were like, you the leg girl, you feisty, or, you know, but in the end, like my terms and my boundaries were respected. And I'm, you know, I can always, I can only hope and pray for that. So, yeah.
So as we're getting ready to wrap this up, what advice will you give to any young Liberian girl or comedian, Liberian or African comedian that's coming up, that's looking at you and looking up to you? What advice do you want to give her?
I know it sounds so cliche to say, but just believe in yourself. It's always going to be you when the season change, right? Because people who started believing in you year one may not believe in you year two. Or somebody who may have saw that potential in you may not see it. So when you base this thing that you want to do on the validation or the acceptance of people, and then season change and that you know, that love and support that are coming with, then what are you going to do? But when you come in there with the mindset, this is what I want to do, I believe in myself, you always have that unconditional thing. You understand what I'm saying? Until you decide, I don't want to do this anymore, you don't have to go seeking after the validation to say, oh, please, do you still think I can do it? Do you still? So you always have to believe in yourself no matter what. And you have to take your heart out of it. What I say by that, when I started coming up, I'm very, very sensitive. I used to be feeling away like, oh my God, why my cousin ain't share my video? Why my cousin, you know, why my friend do that? But then, they're showing support to other people. But then I realized at the end of the day, again, the vision that you have or that God is calling you to do, even family members may not understand it.
That's true.
It doesn't matter. When you focus on who's not acknowledging you, the same thing is like a disrespect. You're going to disrespecting the people who are. If you have 3 people here who are clapping for you, but then you rather look at the 4 people who are not, guess what? You not probably take the risk of making one person leave that support and go join the other people because you're not. So just believe in yourself, truly be your number one supporter, and allow whoever will join you on that journey to come.
I love that. You have anything else for her?
I love you so much. Thank you for coming.
That's with you.
I'm your biggest fan. Please come back. Please come back before the summer.
I'll come back before the summer.
I enjoyed this.
Please come back to In the Fries.
Okay, next time.
Is there anything you want to touch on that we didn't touch on? I know we're going to have you around for a girls talk.
I'm going to be around for the girls talk. So we're going to get into
the tea. We're going
to get into it.
So what can we look forward to from Mary Love in terms of comedy and any big projects? Do you plan to go into acting, making movies?
Yeah, I actually started acting before I even got into the comedy aspect of things. Yeah, people don't understand that's what even make the comedy again so believable. We were working on a movie group, but African people, we not did to the movie. They had me kissing my homeboys. Now we not even see the movie. We ain't know what the movie is. They end up fighting your money and say who will get the money. I'm not how they calculating who will get the money. We not even finished shooting the movie yet.
In the beginning.
You understand? So that's just what it was. But in terms of just what to expect in comedy, I did a little short film in October of 2024 in LA. Liberian, 2 Liberian sisters as well. They're out there, they're doing amazing things out there. They reached out to me. And then another comedian, Zulu. I don't know if you know Zulu. To be a part of this project, it was amazing. So hopefully in 2025, we should be expecting that coming out. But believe it or not, just as we said again, I've been doing this for for 11 years now. And I sit back and ask, what haven't I done?
Right.
What video Mary Love haven't done? You understand what I'm saying? What idea haven't I touched base on? I think, and I had to come to the accepting of that, because I'm like, oh my God, with today's world, social media is so important. Right. If you're not posting, people are going to go. If you're not doing it. And I said, Mary, what God have placed inside of you is bigger than just social media relevancy. If in any type of capacity I'm showing up and I'm making a difference, rather it be inspiring women, mothers like myself, that you can go out there and do it, I feel like purpose has been achieved. Right. So currently in this season of my life, you'll see me lifting weight, doing it's like, that's another part of me too, you know what I'm saying, that I'm finding joy in.
I like that too. When I will say, when you post those little snippets, I'm somebody who does things by myself.
Yeah.
Like I'll do little activities by myself. And when I see you doing that, I'm just like, yeah, let the world know. Because even when I go out by myself, someone will come up to me and be like, where are your friends? Why are you by yourself? I'm like, I enjoy my own company. And I like seeing you enjoy your own company too.
And so, and now that's actually what I would like to even close up on this space, because I was saying, it was like, oh, what can we expect from you now? The season of my life where I'm in, just showing up for myself.
I love that.
In whichever space that would be in. Growing up, again, like some of us, we come from homes. My mother's a pastor. I live a very restricted life. I was just very always isolated. Being a pageant queen winner, like I've done so many things where I always have to live to the standards of pleasing people. So for the first time in my life as a grown woman, I'm showing up for myself. I'm doing whatever I want to do. I don't care who feels any type of way about it. And I'm just, you know what I'm saying? I'm just being unapologetic about this space that I am in my life. So if I want to do a video today, I'll do a video. If I don't, I want to be in the gym for 5 hours, and I'll do that too.
Yeah.
So before we close there, who are you going to public flog? You know, we have the segment where we'll do public flog.
This is so beautiful. I know, right? This is so great.
Who don't want a public
flog? Who you want a public flog? We got to give the public flog, you know.
Well, in honor of International Women's Day, I want to public flog the men. It is supposed to be men in here.
Our 2 men.
Public Joel, you know better. Joel, what's his name?
Nabil.
We met at an event in Delaware as well, like last year during the summertime. I wanted you men to be here and be up. Even if you didn't contribute to the conversation, y'all could have still supported. Y'all could have still fan up, because at one point I was getting a little hot. Y'all could have, with the little...
They could have been feeling you grapes.
Y'all could have been
cold water.
So I'm disappointed.
Liberian men.
Yeah.
We public flocking.
We public flocking.
We public flocking.
For all the time women show up in your life.
And you don't show up in ours. We public flocking y'all for not showing. Yes. And we now our producer, we public flocking. We love our producer. Thank you, guys. We never public.
No, we public flocking him too, because I'm like, is he putting screen in his head the way he holding the camera now?
He holding the glue the way he holding it for the minute.
Yeah, I'm like, he just seem like I'm just doing it to do it.
Tired today.
Yeah, I'm not feeling the energy to myself. I'm like, nah.
He show up for us, so we're not gonna public flog.
No, I'm
but we're gonna stop public. We public flog. Besides the producer, we're gonna public flog all the Liberian men that don't be showing up for women. Y'all need to learn how to show up for us, because we stay. If this was a men's show and they were doing it, we'll be here bringing them food.
Oh yeah,
we'll be taking care of the kids,
making sure everything is done.
We'll be making sure everything is
public
good.
flocking all of you men,
so y'all need
who
to
allow
learn how
women
to show
to carry the burden.
Yeah.
We public flocking a lot of your deadbeats who allow women to be out here raising children on their own, while you're out here chasing music careers at the age of 40. We public flocking the men who's still trying to chase soccer career, and
you too old.
Soccer career after 30.
They started so beautiful, but we're ending on a very nasty note. Duality. We have duality.
We're public flocking men who are now walking in
their full potential.
Right.
Thank you.
Yes. You gotta walk in your full potential, because us as Liberian women, we are constantly showing up for them. We need y'all to show up for us.
Please.
The same.
We believe in y'all.
I had to tell them. I had to tell them the other day, and we'll close it on this. I had to tell them, like, y'all need to give us some grace, right? Because y'all can't give us the same energy y'all give the men. Because they were like, when the men come here, there'll be no problem. I'm like, women, first of all, you know how many hours it takes us to do hair and makeup?
I was up at 8 a.m.
Got a babysitter for our children there.
I would save my...
Last time I owned a babysitter cancel on me, I had to make... You see, when my husband ready to go somewhere, he can be looking for a babysitter. He don't be looking for a babysitter.
No, they got their hair to go. Like me, I've been trying not to look in the cut, because I have my twin boys in the back, because my face would change along with the look real quick, like, something going on over there. Y'all think it's easy?
Yeah, y'all gotta get women. Y'all gotta get us women a little more grace, Liberian men. Y'all really gotta try and get our grace. So we're just gonna end on that. We're gonna end on that. All right, thank you, Mary.
Thank you, ladies. I like it.
So like, good. Yeah. On to the next.
Ooh.
Okay. The other cancel's calling me. Let me call her back.
Oh,
and
shoot.
The slow one is next.
Okay.
Before everybody walks up.
Okay, so her and then...
Yeah, we're going to do 30 minutes and then we'll do the...
Okay.
Oh, just got her voicemail. Yeah, we're about to...